Put your head on my.
That's good. It's the Coffee First podcast. And on this episode today, we are at Newton Cafe, coffee, comics and coffee, but it's also a cafe. They got the records, they got the comics downstairs. They got an area where you can do performances. Right now they're watching a movie. What is it? Thursday they got the movie going. And they got cafe food here too. So it's a triple threat or
this joint's fire.
4-way threat. And on the Coffee First podcast, we got Ray, an instrumentalist that I met at Corner Beat Cafe. Oh my gosh, so I called you up to the stage, and he was like, yeah, let's get it. That's cool, bro. I'll still watch the video too.
We outside.
So, me give you a minute, go ahead and talk your shit where we can find you.
My name is Raymond Guerrero, but I go as Raymond Ciprian. You can find me on Instagram as Raymond Ciprian, Raymond.Ciprian. I have a single out on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. And it's Hickory Smoke, Ray Ciprian. And yeah, that's pretty much what I got going on right now. I got some projects in the works, and you'll be able to see all of that if you follow me on there.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Are you on all platforms?
Yes, sir, I'm on all platforms.
Oh, all right.
Find me on there.
What else do you do besides doing first, tell me what you play.
I play saxophone, mainly saxophone. I play the tenor, mainly tenor and soprano. I started on my alto, but I've gravitated towards the soprano lately, like in this past year. And
I know.
Yeah, I find myself picking it up more than the other ones. It's so it's the higher pitched.
Is that what you brought on that?
Yeah, the straight soprano. Okay. Yeah, the one that kind of gets mistaken as a clarinet most of the time.
Because that's what I thought it was, but then I was like, that does not look like a clarinet at all. That looks way more complicated than a clarinet.
That's one of my missions, to make people not think it's a clarinet and it's a soprano saxophone. We're putting a soprano saxophone on the map.
That's just cool. All right. That's cool as well. So you play the soprano saxophone and the regular saxophone?
Yeah, the tenor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that's dope. Which one you learn the saxophone before the soprano?
Well, like I said, they're all saxophones. It's all like in the same family of saxophones. It's just different octaves. So you can get different, different octaves. So like, for example, if the alto, the range is, a lower range, that soprano, so you just get a little bit more sweeter sound, more for like ballads and things like that, which I like a lot. I like that sound.
Where you been playing at?
Lately, I've been going to a lot of open jams, like Corner Beat, Arab's Hideout. They have jazz there on Tuesdays. I go to Metal Luck on Mondays. They have jazz there. Yeah, so there's a lot of jams around town that right now I just do like the musician shuffle, as we would say. I would call myself kind of like a student of the game right now. I moved to Colorado about like 2 years ago and started getting reacquainted with the musical scene and everything. So that's just now been going to that. Huh?
Where are you from?
I was born in New York, raised in the Dominican Republic.
Oh,
yeah.
New York.
Yeah, you know it.
Jungle City. Oh my God.
Yes, sir.
I feel like I fuck with all the
concrete jungle.
You know what I mean?
You know it.
But that's dope, man. So you just been building your story out here, continuing, connecting, networking with new people.
Absolutely. Because music. Music has always been a part of my life, but it had a back burner on my life for a big part of it because I played baseball. I played baseball in college, and I was very serious about making a living playing baseball. I went to college. I came from Dominican Republic to play college originally. That was like my main goal at the time. And then once, I finished playing, I moved here, and, I've always played saxophone, but I never took it serious. So this time around, just going around, like I said, those jams and everything, I've been meeting people, artists, and just getting inspired and being like, hey, I could do that, but I got to put the time in. So that's kind of what I'm doing now.
That's dope. How'd you run into Q?
Q, I met him through JJ Brown, JJ Harmonica. Okay. Yeah, the great JJ Harmonica. Shout out to him.
Yeah, that's cool.
But
y'all just started like doing the band, right?
Yeah, well, I did first. It was just being friends, honestly, just connecting. Like I met him at Metal Luck one night. He was playing, and just asking people where like all the music happens and everything. And I met him, but we never really connected too much. And then we connected again these past few months. He told me about the Corner Beat. And that's how I went to Corner Beat, met Q, and started meeting everybody else, and started playing my saxophone. I played it one day, and Q was like, hey.
Networking in action.
Yeah, networking in action, baby. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I just want to play my saxophone, and now it's like, doors are getting open for people. Hey, come here, come there, and it's nice. It's very nice.
That's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna cap. And
no, I think it's a thing of God.
New, it's like you go to a whole different area, meet some people that help you on your path, and you start networking, send you on a whole different other life.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, and you know, I'll tell you something. You know, from this past year to now, I would say I really manifested a lot of these things that are happening now, and like the connections that I'm making, and you know, just living a more musical life. I told myself I want to live a more musical life. Of course, everybody wants to, you know, be in part of shows and make money and make a living and everything, but you know, ideally that just comes down to like living a musical life. And from there, it's just, you know, I think certain things are falling into place. You know that.
I mean, how you gonna be in the show if you don't live that life?
Exactly.
You know what I mean, how you gonna actually show your emotion in the show and be who you are as a performer if you don't live that life type thing?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a language. You know, music really is a language. It's a lifestyle that you know, you can't really think about doing the music. You have to like really live it. It's like, you know, when you and I are talking right now, we all had to go to school to learn verbs, adjectives, nouns, how to speak, you know, how to conjugate and everything. But we're at a point of our lives now that we've talked so much that it's second nature to us, to the point we're not thinking about all those things. You know, we're trying to express our emotions and our feelings now.
We're just speaking.
Exactly, through what we've learned. So I think music is the same way. It's like, you know, you give it the time and you give it that energy of, you know, learning the basics, and then from there is to get to the point where you don't think, right?
Oh my gosh, and that's the cold part about it. Like when you share your story with somebody, and then it connects with somebody else, and then it's like, oh shit, this story hits you like it, you know, the story affected you a different way than it affected me, or why I even wrote it. But it still helps you out type thing.
Absolutely, and you know, you get to see everybody's different process too of how they go about, like we're talking about music. You know, everybody has a different process of going about music, but it can relate to the same thing as life. Everybody has a very different way of looking at life and talking. You know, I mean, we all talk the same language, right? Or for the most part, let's say you and I, we talk English, right? We talk the same language, we're saying the same words, but we have two different complete experiences. You know, your words are going to come from a whole completely different place from your experiences. Well, mine, you know, we might have similar experiences, you know, that we might say the same words and might say the same thoughts, but ideally we all have our own DNA that makes us who we are. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's why they say, like, when you're learning a song or trying to like transcribe and learn somebody from something else, you'll never recreate exactly that, but you'll make it, you know, it's always going to be your own, even though you're necessarily trying to 100% recreate it, right? So
I mean, it's your language. It's like you're expressing yourself. That's why I don't get why people say, like, try to fight other people's, you know, style. Because it's like, at the end of the day, you're just not being true to yourself. Like, you can go ahead and copy somebody else's. I mean, you can go ahead and learn and have their, you know, style, you know, affect your style in the process. But if you're like trying to make yourself exactly like somebody else, or make yourself like somebody was trying to make themselves like a J. Cole and make the same moves and stuff like that, are you initially becoming,
it's not going to happen. They're not going to be J. Cole.
J. Cole? Are you initially just, you know, being a facade on yourself, or is that really who you are? Because you're not. You know what I mean? Like,
I think there's two differences that, you know, to that, like, or two extremes that can be. It's like, you know, you either be inspired, or you get, like, there are moments that you can't see, because, you know, I think there's a fine line between that, because I can go back and get all the history, right? Like, basically taking myself to history class and understand everybody that went before me. For example, saxophone wise, you know, to look back to, you know, Sidney Bechet's of the world, especially talking about, you know, soprano, like, that's grandfather is saxophone, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you got guys like Lester Young, you got guys, you know, of course, John Coltrane, Pharoah Sanders, and like, you go into things like that of the past, and you want to recreate these things, but it's, I look at it as a way that, like, these are things for me to reference, right? And the important thing about that is keeping that alive and keeping that information alive, and knowing that, okay, I get this from this, I got this from that, you know what I'm saying? There's certain things that I learned, like, for example, Pharoah Sanders, he does like screaming stuff on the saxophone, you know what I mean? And you know, like, that can inspire me. Like I say, I'm doing a solo, and I'd be like, oh, I can reference this. Or like, there's people that like are doing a solo, and then they might reference a song from Mary Had a Little Lamb or something, and you might feel that. And that's a simple song, but he's playing the solo on like a random song, and he'll be like, na 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 na, and you'll be like, oh, I know that. You know, it's a reference. But you know, we all had to go through that.
I love that though. Like, that should be cool.
Yeah.
Especially when you hear somebody playing and they bust out a nice little tune that's familiar. It just sets the vibe. Just,
exactly. And then they go back to what they're doing.
Then
you know
they go
what I'm
back
saying?
to what, you know,
then you know that's in them, and then that tells you that person is in a certain way cultured in that area because they've gone into and dabbled into that world to know, okay, this is the history of that, not just somebody that's walking in and saying, hey, I can play a saxophone, hear what I got. And I mean, there can be beauty in that. I don't want to knock that either, but I think there's a very big importance of going into that history and obtaining that in order for you to know what went before you and where you can take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you know where you can take something if you don't know what the ceiling is? You know what I'm saying?
If you don't know how high, if you got a limit on yourself, you just want to be like, I just want to be able to play covers. You don't want to learn your own sheet, like your own music type stuff. That's their limit. But if you just like, I want to learn how to play, I'm gonna start off with covers. Then I'm gonna go on from there.
Exactly. You build your own voice from there. You
ain't got no limit after that. You just want to learn. You just want to play. That's where the great people come. They be like, look, we gonna be on stage. I'm just gonna play for y'all, and then go off. And they didn't even make Erykah Badu on some Erykah Badu stuff. Annie, whatever she said, Annie ain't wearing no panties. She made that shit up on stage and rehearsed it like maybe one time in the back room and said, that's what I'm going with. And they made a whole fucking song on stage. So that's what she's a vocal instrumentalist, and that's what instrumentalists do.
Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I also feel that, she does that and she's amazing at that, but she has her inspirations. You know what I'm saying? She has things that, that she look like I don't care who you are. You know what I'm saying? If you weren't in the beginning of time, Adam and Eve or whatever you want to believe, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody has a source of inspiration from somewhere. Everybody came up as a kid and saw somebody and was like, hey, I want to do that. I can do that. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you start dabbling into stuff. Everybody has that.
What's your style? What do you say your style is? Like on adjectives, how would you describe your style?
Music-wise?
Yeah.
Journey.
Okay.
I would say in certain ways spiritual.
Ooh, okay.
It could be psychedelic, depending on your point of view. I love jazz, so there's gonna be hints of that.
Yeah.
And then I have to take it always back to my roots. So there's always gonna be that Latin in there. I'm big on the syncopation and the clave. If you're not familiar with clave, it's a certain rhythm. So like how we're used to the straight fours for the most part. 5, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Right. The clave is 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? And then that's when you get a lot of the congas and the, like those African rhythms, which is now considered Latin rhythm, but Latin rhythms all come from African rhythms. You know what I'm saying? I would, if I can describe my music, I'd say it would be that. You know what I mean? That's the type of stuff I like to do.
That's cool. All right. That's dope. Hold up. Shout out where we can find your music again.
Apple Music, Spotify. Look me up. Ray Ciprian. My single's out. Hickory Smoke. Yes, sir. So, and YouTube as well. Any streaming services. Go get it.
On this, I like to ask everybody on this podcast, the Coffee First podcast, the podcast for creators, by creators. Because if you as a creator wasn't on here yourself, there would be no podcast.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I like to ask what's your morning routine, because that's how you get that creative energy going.
Absolutely. So honestly, it's been changing. Like I said, like I told you, I'm trying to live a more musical life. So every day I'm doing something more towards that. But so I found a record player or a record from Dave Liebman. He's a very famous, very renowned saxophone player, soprano, tenor mainly. But he's a great teacher. But it's kind of like a repertoire thing. So he goes with all the scales and different like Hindu scales and just a whole bunch of exercises that you can listen to and follow along. So lately I've been putting that on and trying to just kind of like follow along with that. Gotta put my coffee in there. I gotta make my coffee. I'm a coffee lover. Give my dog some pets, give her a walk. But yeah, I got a little piano. I try to do something music. I hear something, I got different types of instruments in the house that I don't perfect. It's not perfection, but I make the music. I got a little piano. I sit there. JJ Harmonica, shout out to him, inspired me to just want to buy a little $3 harmonica. That pisses him off because it's leaky. Because he has a professional joint, so he gets on that. But I be like playing with those a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Tell him to buy you the one that you even need. You're like, all right, show me. Go buy me the one.
No, he lets me play his.
That's just cold, man. Talk about y'all's connection. How did it build? How was it building?
No, JJ, he's a dope individual, man. He's really, really cool. I'm very grateful to have met him. Like I said, I met him like about a year ago, and we really didn't connect that much. I just like met him, you know how you like see people sometimes at jams and things.
Oh, that nigga got some cool energy. Let me see what you about.
Exactly. And but like months later, I seen him out again, and we like said hi and stuff like that, whatever. And the next day we were like, oh yeah, we gotta get together sometime. And then he told me he was around the area. He's at Gerard's Pool Hall. And I just pulled up to him just to sit down and talk. And we started getting to know each other. He opened up and told me things about his life. I started telling him things about my, how things go when you starting to get to know a person, and the more you get to know a person, you start finding out the best ways, for you to be there and support them, and vice versa, you know what I'm saying? And we just been there for each other, honestly, supporting each other on some real, just brotherhood being there, respecting each other. I think, brotherhood start from people looking up to each other, respecting each other, and watering that plant constantly, you know what I'm saying?
It's that respect.
Exactly, and it's been happening.
Somebody, it's like, yo, all right, I fuck with you. You fuck with that person. You like, in a sense, you know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, you can like what somebody does. Somebody can make a lot of money. You can look up to somebody for what they do. But then when you meet somebody, you know what I'm saying, there's a whole different side of you looking up to somebody because of who they are, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of your, heroes that you might grow up loving, and you meet them and they're like a terrible person, right?
Then you lose respect for their music, and you don't have no respect for them, and they're like,
exactly,
I don't even like your music no more.
There's people that sometimes make music that's not as virtuoso on the instrumental side, but the feeling is there, and the relationships are there, and that sense of community. And I think there's,
I ain't gonna cap. I'm learning the piano right now, but it's been taking some time. I will get it. It's a challenge. I'm not gonna cap, but
I feel you.
It's working with like how I could work with my left hand and stuff. So now I could like use both hands.
That's tough, bro. I can't get it.
I'm not gonna lie.
I can't get it. Get it.
I'm gonna go to Corner Beat and play the piano and sing one of my songs. That's what I want to do.
Hey man, you just gotta practice it. I was seeing a interview of James Moody, one of my favorite woodwind players. Played with Dizzy Gillespie, but he was saying there's nothing that is too hard in life. It's just we're unfamiliar with it. It could be the hardest piece, the fastest piece, but when you play it over and over and over, it might take a year or two. It might take you, you sacrificing other things and really giving that time. There, the moment you're familiar with it, it slows down. Like when I play baseball, a thing that you hear a lot is slow the game down. Slow the game down. What that means is understanding what's happening. If I'm in shortstop and I know there's a runner at first, I want to go through all the plays in my head. Okay, if the ball is hit this side, I'm gonna throw the ball here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. So it's preparing yourself mentally already and knowing and doing repetition so much that it's second nature to you, that you don't think about that and you're just relaxed. I think it's the same thing with music, you know what I mean? And life, period. There's nothing that there's too hard. There's nothing that we can't do. It's just that we're unprepared. And we might not know what we need to do to prepare ourselves. We have to go to that journey. We have to, and it's tough. Because you have to, it's going into a new world. But
preaching right there.
Hey man, I'm just learning. You know how I'm learning? From going into history and seeing people and seeing what they got to say. And you be like, oh, this is a gem, and this is a gem, and this is a gem. And how we talked about earlier, just you're able to quote certain things and bring that out because it's in you now.
Yeah. That's some real shit though. Oh my gosh, you was just preaching right there. Oh my gosh. Shout out again where we can find you. Hold up, because I just need to pause right there. This man went and spit some real ass knowledge. Shout out where we can find you.
Yes, sir. Raymond.Ciprian on Instagram, Raymond Ciprian on Facebook. Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Ray Ciprian, Hickory Smoke. That's a single. Find me on there. Those are all the stuff you can get me on.
So, what's up with the single, Hickory Smoke? How'd you get the name?
Hickory Smoke, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm uploading the song.
Was you cooking?
I was eating. I cooked. I was eating some wings. And
because I knew it had to do something with some food. I figured you was like high at some point, maybe smoking at some point, and then making some food, and you was like, you know what?
I'm literally eating, uploading right here.
Oh man, I'm gonna call it Hickory Smoke.
Hickory Smoke. I saw it right there. The little the Nor's, barbecue sauce, Hickory Smoke. Yeah. That's my joint right there.
Cool, man.
Nothing can taste bad with that. But yeah, it's a very like little trippy tune. You know, it's on my soprano saxophone. It's a freestyle, and I actually recorded it in my car.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, there was like a few like a little, which I'm gonna start doing that again. But
sound better?
It sounds pretty good. It's very surprising because it's like, you know, you're in the car, everything's secluded. I have the mic in the middle, you know, headphones in, middle of the night, 2, 3 in the morning, hot box in the car. Yeah. It's a vibe, you know what I mean? So that was just freestyle and a little beat on there that we got, and
I'm gonna have to try that. Out. Yeah. I never thought about recording in the car.
It's nice, and it's a very personal experience because I mean you don't have anybody there. Yeah. You know, unless if you want to have somebody there, nobody's bothering you. You're not bothering anybody.
Noise suppression, like you don't hear a lot of stuff going on outside. It's just like
you're good.
Quiet in the car, unless you know.
You can park at like a scenic place, looking at the city, like looking at whatever. It's amazing. It's beautiful. Honestly, I recommend it to anybody. If you need time to practice, if you have like an instrument that you can practice in your car, hey, extra time practice. You know, when you be like, oh, I don't want to. My neighbors, and this. Yeah. Hey, you got a car, you don't got an excuse. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna have to try that out. That's actually smart as fuck.
Yep.
Yeah. So, where do you see yourself going, like, from here? Because you've made a lot of moves out here. You've met a lot of people out here. You've made a lot of networking connections. What's next? What you feel like?
Applying what I've been learning. Yeah. You know, I feel like we all learn things in life that sometimes, unfortunately, we don't apply them. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason it may be. You know what I'm saying? Life, you know, bills and things that, you know, bad decisions or whatever that may be. It might be lazy. But how I said in the beginning, I've just been outside, been a student. And in that, I've met so much great people that are doing great things. I've met people that are touring with people that we hear about every day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you start learning certain things, you know, about what it means to be an artist, and what it means to be a creator, what it means to make money as a creator and an artist, and, you know, making a living. And, you know, I've gone from seeing this as a hobby and something that I just pick up. And of course, it's always going to be something therapeutic. It's something that I want to do for the love. But at the same time, I mean, like, why not? You know, I mean, when you master something, you're a professional. And when you're a professional, I mean, you know, you get paid for your shit. You know what I'm saying? So
when you do it, you do this.
Exactly.
Instead of like, okay, I'm try to do it. When you take that try out of it, or you be like, I want to, and you take that want out of it, and you actually be like, I do this. You look at yourself a whole lot differently.
Exactly.
And be like, yeah, I do this. I'm an artist because I do this. Exactly. Oh, you didn't get nervous in front of all them people? Yeah, I do. But fuck it, I do this. What's there to be nervous for?
Exactly.
You do this. That's what makes you a pro. That's when you be like, I should get paid because I be doing.
You gotta
this.
pay bills. You gotta pay bills. I mean, you can't take care of yourself. You can't take care of anything if you can't take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You can't take care of your instrument or your music if you can't feed yourself. You're not gonna play well if you're dehydrated and you're hungry. Yep. You know what I mean? So you know, we gotta get that money. You know what I mean? And we can't play good music if we don't have good instruments. Good instruments cost a lot of money. My saxophone costs about $4,000. I'm financing if y'all want to help stream my music. You know what I mean? But
instruments is expensive.
It's a part of it. It's a part of it. You know, a good musician has good, instruments. And you know, to go back to the question, I mean, yeah, like I said, I've been learning a lot of things. I'm employing or trying to see how I apply all these things to my direction that I want to do. I've been working with JJ Harmonica and our friend Bugs Honey, DJ Bugs, and making a few songs. And
so that leads me to my next question. What's your new effort every day? Because that's my brand, that's my slogan. Need new effort every day. I'm wearing this shirt right here. I got the shop online, all that. I try to spread it out as much as I can. New effort every day. I'll be giving out shirts and stuff.
And that's a 10-minute answer right there. I'm gonna tell you.
What's your new effort every day?
I'm gonna try to sum it up, but man, we connecting every day. Community, first of all, community. Without community, I mean, we're not anything. Nobody does anything by themselves. I don't believe it. Getting better, practicing, finding ways to, optimize my practicing and to get better, to not lose what I have and gain more, and create. Create. every day we have feelings. Every day we have new things that, you know, sometimes we just sit upon, you know. Every day we just got to create. There's sometimes even like my Pharoah Sanders of the world and John Coltrane's, you have those top hit records, but you'll find some records that they did that you might be like, hey, what is this? But they recorded, they created, and somebody liked it, somebody didn't like it, somebody whatever, but they created it.
I feel like those ones will get, like, a lot of artists will get more popular off of the songs they don't like than the ones they do like, but people will be like, I don't like this one. And it's like, bro, did you really listen to it though? Or are you just like trying to bop to it though? Like, you know, oh man.
Yeah.
Because I know there's some stuff that sadly we'll never hear from Nipsey Hussle, but it probably will get you in the mindset to where you can make so much bread and look at yourself as an entrepreneur. Like, he's probably giving out game on that record. Like,
it's all a mindset. It really is.
But we'll never hear that shit again because he's probably playing it for his kids, and he's gonna give it to them, and then they gonna listen to it, and then, you know, I'm just speaking in you know.
It's the mindset. I mean, when you start opening your mind up to certain things,
as much as other people appreciate it, and this one's gonna be like, bro, you know what he was saying in it, you know?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Oh shit, man. I mean, honestly, you feel like traveling yourself? Like,
I want to so bad. I have traveled.
Besides, like, from New York to Colorado, do you have you played?
I haven't played music traveling yet. Like I said, I've got reacquainted with music here in Denver. I've gotten re-inspired here in Denver. You know, 5 Points and, you know, what's happening down there and, you know, Larimer and everything. Like, there's great musicians out here. Okay. And from being out here, my mindset has changed to what music is.
From out in New York?
Exactly. I mean, I never played music in New York. I never played, you know, music when I lived in Pittsburgh. Like, I never went out and saw what the community was like. This is my first time experiencing what a musical community is, and connecting. You know what I mean? So, but from now, it's the plan is to create and just go in places, because the same way that, like, for example, here we have open mics and we have the community that we can go and, you know, push our music and things like that.
That's cool.
You know, there's the whole world for that, and, you know, I want to see what that has to explore. You know, the Europes of the world, and, you know.
Honestly, I want to go out to Europe or London, or
I heard they love the arts out there so much.
No, South Korea, they love it too. There's some spots I was looking at out there that would be like, they love hip hop, they love American hip hop artists. They'd be like, hey, yo, Eclipse. I'm like, hey, you know.
I've never been there yet, but like from what I have heard is that their appreciation for art, or the importance for art, is heightened versus what it's here. You know what I'm
Getting
saying?
out of the States, I feel like, is a next level for a lot of artists that they don't do, but they should do. Some do. And I feel like you get a far better fan base out there than you do here, just base-wise. Mm-hmm. Just because they do, like you said, they appreciate the culture way, the hip-hop and, like, the music culture, not just hip-hop, but they appreciate music way better than, especially American music, because it's so expressive. Like, you can have one artist give you like 20 different songs that he expressed, but they all sound different. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh man, I want to listen to him when I'm like this. All right, I'm gonna listen to him when I'm feeling like this. Oh, I'm gonna listen to him when I'm feeling like this. And it's the same person. You know what I mean? But 3 different emotions that, you know, you feel. They got songs for it. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
out there they be showing love.
Yeah, I mean,
historically show love.
Yeah,
but out there they really show love.
Yeah, I mean, historically, I mean, even jazz musicians and everything. Like, you got a lot of musicians that almost even like stayed out there and lived out there. You know, from how much
you think that would be a trap for you? You would go out there and be like, you know what?
No,
I might have to stay out here.
Who knows? I mean, I like the States. I love the States, but you know, I am very curious. I mean, I've always been I feel like I've been like a traveling soul, you know what I mean? I've always been traveling. I've been away from my family. A rolling stone, yeah, that's the word. You know, I'm Dominican. I just got good English.
Hey.
But yeah, I want to see what that has, you know, to offer. And I mean, who knows? If you have a good life somewhere, living in life good, you don't know what happens. You know what I mean? I might have a house over there, house over here, go back and forth. You know, who knows, man? See what life got in store.
Shit, currency out there. You can get a house out, a couple of them out there.
Yeah.
renting out, making money.
You know where I want to go? I want to go to Belgium. I want to go to Belgium because that's where they invented the saxophone. Adolf Sax. He was Belgium, and if you go there, there's like a whole bunch of like saxophone sculptures all throughout the city and everything. Yeah, that's one of the spots I want to go. Sure.
What do you do outside of music?
Outside of music, I play baseball, so I'm working on a project of opening a baseball facility, coach kids, and offer different services. Hopefully to get kids into different scholarship programs and things like that. Because
what's it called?
I played in college ball. I played a little bit of independent baseball in Michigan.
What's it called?
It's called the Time Capsule. Time Capsule.
Time Capsule.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So still in the works of opening it. Yeah. But giving back to the game, that definitely opened up a lot of doors for me. Baseball did. When it came to college friends, and even being here in Colorado, just because of a baseball connection. And then that inspired me for music now. So everything is like connected, right, in certain aspects. But you know what I'm saying?
So how much would you charge an artist to play behind them?
Hey, right now I'm humble, so you better catch me now. I'm humble, baby. I'll charge you like $100, $100, $200. I'm very humble. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to work, but that will change. I will change because we grow. It's not we're changing in a bad way, but you know what I'm saying? We grow. So who knows what we're gonna be working in a year from now? But now, hey, I'm willing to work. So hit me up.
Where can we hit you up?
Raymond.Ciprian on Instagram, Raymond Ciprian on Facebook. Find me on there, hit me up there. Feel free to DM me if you want me to work. I'm down to work any genre, any stuff, I just want to play my horn, you know what I mean? And like I said, catch me now because I'm very willing to work, you know what I'm saying? Everybody knows how things happen. I mean, everybody can say, yeah, we'll work with everybody, but you know how things work when your schedule fills up and things start happening, you know what I'm saying? So
like this,
and we're working hard and it's happening. So
doing this now until I get sponsors, and then I'm gonna have to change, how I do it.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to upgrade and everything. Gonna have to,
everybody grows. You can't be a caterpillar forever. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a caterpillar forever.
And that's what. I think that's what some people are scared of is change.
Yeah, or some people get mad at it. Some people get mad at it.
Or not ready for it.
Yeah.
Or afraid of it.
But it's a beautiful thing to change.
What you gonna do with change? You gonna fight? You gonna flight? Or you gonna freeze and be like,
You might not know that you might have to drop something.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might not know it. Sure. I've been in situations that like you hold on to certain things so much without knowing that something can even be better for you. And then something goes completely left and you're like, oh fuck. And then the storm clears and then you'll be like, oh, this actually turned out better to be than, you know what I'm saying, what I wanted it to be. But
a lot of it.
Yeah.
Well shit. On this time, this is the Coffee First podcast for creators by creators. And before I end it, I want to end off on a good note. So what's a positive message you got for the viewers?
Be a light. Be a light, man. They say a lot of motivational shit or whatever, but at the end of the day, I think if you try to be a light in darkness, everything will be all right. Be a good person, be a good neighbor, be a good brother, be a good sister. Take care of your kids if you got kids.
You should make a book of quotes. You be dishing out game. I'm not gonna cap.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the last thing I would say is just community is important. Sense of community is very important.
It is.
Life can make us feel that we have to corner ourselves and we don't want. We might feel that we don't want to deal with other people, or we're tired of dealing with people, and that we have to do it by ourselves, or we're pushed to do it by ourselves, but we all have a sense of community, and we can build our community. And it's just changing our mindset and being open to blessings coming your way. Not being gullible. Now, keep your eyes open. Have your boundaries.
There is a difference.
Yourself.
There is a difference.
Respect yourself. It's not just let everybody walk over you.
Yes.
But it is important to have a sense of community and hold each other accountable, and from there you'll grow. I've got connected with community, and I have some real cool friends that we might start a band. We're gonna start a band, and I met this amazing dude right here. Look with us now, you know what I'm saying, in the podcast. We play some music together. Who knows what we're gonna do, moving forward. And life is beautiful that way. And you won't see life if you're inside and you're stuck in your own self. So get out there, connect with a community.
Be outside.
Exactly. Be outside, but not not outside.
Don't be outside. Like
be
don't
outside.
be outside. You know
exactly.
what I mean? Like don't be outside like on the evil side. But be outside on like
Yeah. Do the light. Be the light. Be the light.
You know, it's Coffee First Podcast. Thank you, Ray, for being on this.
Put your head